Let's discover how citrus and railroads shaped Winter Garden's history and the role that these two Central Florida staples played in shaping the Winter Garden of today.
It was big. That's why we're here, essentially. I asked an old gentleman once, a couple of years ago, give me the history of Winter Garden in 2 seconds, 5 seconds, whatever. And he says, okay, oranges, 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 and 2 railroads to get it all the heck out of here. It's basically true. The growers who came here in the mid-19th century started with citrus. It was going big. A major freeze in 1894-95 knocked out the entire citrus industry to the ground. A lot of people left, abandoned the area, abandoned groves. A lot of people stayed and bought up that inexpensive property. Waited a few years, they planted vegetables until those trees came back to fruition by 1910, 1915, and then we were off. Citrus money fueled the area. We grew solid oranges, and during the 1940s we canned juice and shipped it overseas for the war effort. Turned out it didn't really taste that great, but it was healthy. Concentrate became the next big thing. The juice plant was converted to a concentrate plant, and we planted more citrus than ever. You got a lot of money out of those trees, as long as you didn't have major hard freezes. Scientifically, they figured out how to plant as many trees and as many rows as they can, how to situate as many trees as they could into an acre, and with the right fertilizer and pesticides that they were using, you got high yield and made a lot of money. Grapefruit especially, you got a lot of grapefruit per tree, but they had to also convince the public that grapefruit was good for you. Didn't taste as good as orange juice, but you made a lot of money if you sold grapefruit. Everybody was involved. We had to have packing houses to ship out all that citrus, so that helped the economy also, because so many people worked in the packing houses and in the fields, or growing, or shipping, or worked for the railroad. It was our lifeblood. There's a lot of names beginning like in the late 1850s, 1858, 59. We had Ropers and Tildens and Hurleys, Sadlers, later on Carusos, Battaglias, Keene. You see a lot of these names on the citrus fruit labels that everybody knows and recognizes. There's a coding system that you'll find in the citrus crate labels on boxes. It denotes the quality of fruit inside the box. A label that's mostly blue is top quality fruit and good for juicing or eating, mostly eating. And if a label is mostly red, it's great for juicing, maybe not perfect for eating. It's like middle grade. And then if a label is mostly yellow or green, it's not the best quality fruit, but it's good for juicing. But you're not going to sell it in stores as top grade fruit. And if you're a buyer, they all knew the codes. They're not going to overbid on something that was not top quality fruit. But almost everybody was involved in citrus in some way. Yeah, lots of citrus families came from everywhere, basically. Heller Brothers also came in the 30s, I believe, from New York. And they're still with us. They have a juice plant on 9th Street. They're about the last ones. We just don't have viable groves up here like we used to. It's been a lot of challenges to citrus. But by the beginning of the 1980s, when this area was blanketed with citrus, by the end of the 80s, I should say, we were hit by 3 hard freezes that, again, brought us to our knees around here, citrus-wise. That was the lifeblood, more so than on vegetables in the beginning. And there's always challenges, like over the years, the Mediterranean fruit fly. And then the latest thing is something called greening, which is a bacteria brought along by a psyllid fly. And that just turns your leaves yellow, denourishes the tree, the fruit falls to the ground. And they're trying to solve that. There's still a citrus industry in Florida, mostly south, but not up here. Disney came in 1971. 3rd, 4th generation citrus growers, families, a lot of them said, we could sell our property. It's going to be a lot easier than being a citrus grower. And acreage started to be sold off, and there were some smaller freezes. But things really didn't start to drop until the 80s. And then, 4th generation growers just started selling their property for developments, which required schools and shopping centers, homes, and more theme parks. So it was a rolling effect.
Citrus played such an important role in shaping the history of Central Florida, and Winter Garden is no exception. Like so many other communities in the region, Winter Garden's history is one of agriculture and citrus, and the legacy left behind by the men and women who owned, operated, and worked the thousands of acres of groves that shaped the area.